So, Maya, welcome. Me welcome over me Zoom
Thank you.
interview.
Okay, thank you
Okay,
very
this is your
much.
virus in Intino. I say, yeah, BBR online. Me da
Okay,
assist wa accepted to join the Zoom meeting. I'm can say indeed in komo kakra. First of all, yeah, Gamro issue na ABR as well any other in some way anke betimi adi hu komo kakra no. Na enra wo ye interview bi na wo say royalties being buy nti minim sanke betimi adi if we can start with that one, betimi aka brofo I mix it with tree as well so that a betimi anya market ni nyina. Nti if you can explain further, elaborate to us the whole patch as in Intia royalties name by.
okay, thank you very much. I think, sir, when we talk about Gamro royalties now, there were two main streams. Bakuye, the ones that we collect from the radio stations and the TV stations and the hotels and all those places. And then the other one is something that we call blank levy. Blank levy is something that is the GRA collects a levy on all recordable gadgets that are entering the country, be it CD, pen drives, and whatever, so that at the end of the day, they give that money to the collective management organizations. Currently, we have 3 of them. GAMRO is for music. That is why GAMRO is called Ghana Music Rights Organization. And then we have ASOP, that is for Audiovisual Rights Society of Ghana. And then we have Copy Ghana, which is the literary rights organization. So whenever the levies come, there are statutory deductions. I think 4% goes to the GRA, who did the collections for us. And then 6% also go to the Copyright Office, which is under Ministry of Justice. And then the rest is, I think there's another deduction for cultural, whatever. And then the rest is divided into 3 between GAMRO, Copy Ghana, and ASOC. So these are the main 2 areas of collections. And because of the COVID, since March, everything came to standstill to the extent that GAMRO had to lay off some of our workers, and even the rest that were left, we reduced everybody's salary by 70%. And because of this, we have to even let go our licensing officer because we couldn't afford to pay him. And as you can imagine, the people that we collect royalties from, all of them were affected drastically. I mean, hotels, radio stations, they were saying they were not getting advertisement and all that. All companies were complaining. So as everybody has been affected, GAMRO was not exception. But we tried as much as possible to get a little here and there. But our main focus, and then let me come back. When the COVID came in, we realized that it is affecting majority of our members because all shows were canceled, as you are aware. Even my own shows, I lost so much money. I was about to celebrate my 35th anniversary, and then tours that we have planned for more than 2 years in US and all that, everything was canceled. All festivals were canceled. This one, I don't have to belabor the point. So the people in the creatives, especially the music industry and the event organizers and all these people were seriously affected. So the little money we had, I remember first week in May, we distributed everything to the members. Even though it wasn't time for us to distribute our monies, every year we distribute twice. That is in June and also in December. But this year, because of the COVID, we distributed earlier, that is May. The one that was supposed to be distributed in June, we distributed it in May, first week in May, hoping that by December, we can collect a little and then add the levy to it. But this levy, every time before we go to Ministry of Finance, through Ministry of Justice, to go and collect the levies, we first and foremost go, there's a committee through the Copyright Office, we go and request from GRA, who is a collecting agency, to tell us how much money they have collected for us. We just don't get up and go to Ministry of Finance. So the GRA will supply us with how much money they have for us. Then through the Ministry of Justice, a letter is sent to the Ministry of Finance, and then we follow it up. Before the MPP government came to power, anytime this money is given to us, or the requisition or the whatever is given to us by GRA, in 2 weeks, we have the money. It doesn't go beyond
MPP came to power.
Before MPP came to power.
Or should we say before Akufo Addo came to power? Or maybe the time Akufo was in power.
Before Akufo Addo came to power. Every time GRA gives us that, okay, we have this much for you. Within 2 weeks, we have our money.
Okay.
But since Akufo Addo came to power, after GRA has given us that we have this much for you, sometimes we chase the money 3 months, 4 months before they give the money to us. Okay. For some reason, I don't know.
As the chairman, you don't know?
I've kept it.
As the chairman, you don't know?
As a chairman, if I say I know, you know, that money, the levy money is not only for GAMRO. So there is a committee that we call it JCMO, that is Joint Committee for CMOs. Okay. And I'm on the committee. So I am one of the people who are tasked to chase the money.
Okay.
And the complaint the Minister of Finance were telling us was there's a gift mix system and government says they should pass all through blah, blah, blah into this thing. And it goes through a whole lot of processes that I just don't understand. And the monies and this gift mix system was not instituted by Akufo Addo's government. It was done by...
Okay, so should we say that 4 years of Akufo Addo has been frustrating collecting money from musicians?
Very, very frustrating. And I'm talking about it now because I have kept it because of where I am. If I'm not careful, they'll say, oh, he's doing politics.
Okay.
So anytime the distribution delays in such a way that if you are not careful, then people are insulting you that you are not distributing their monies. First and foremost, the money has not gone down. Yes. First and foremost, the money has gone down drastically because the law, the LI is supposed to have been changed. It has taken us 4 solid years, up and down, for the LI to be changed, to be able to cover the new gadgets like smartphones, extended hard drives, laptops, other stuff that are recordable so that the levy will go up. As I'm talking to you, the draft is at the drafters, at the Ministry of Justice, and is there, you know. It took us so long for even the Copyright Office to work at it, to send it to the Ministry of Justice. So let's put that one aside. Let's come back to this current December. We got the information from JRA that our monies are ready, 2.5 million, I think 3 or 4 months ago. We've been following this money up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Just for me to be told 3 days ago that even the 2.5 million that we're supposed to collect, government says they are not giving us 2.5 million. They are giving us 700,000. For some reason, I don't understand. This is not the first time. When they came to power, the first time they came to power, when our money was ready, they deducted some 10% that they did not explain to us why they have deducted that 10%. We chased this and nothing
happened. That is the current government in power?
Yes.
Okay.
For the first time in the history, the money that they were supposed to give us, they deducted 10% from it. And as of now, they were not able to explain to us why they deducted that 10%. We kept quiet because you see,
or the whole levy?
The whole money, the whole levy.
Okay. So
and they claim it was
moving forward. This frustration, what do you think Ghanaian musicians can do to be able to take their 10% back and also to receive their money without frustration from the current government?
Yeah, the only thing they can do is put pressure, because at the end of the day, you see,
pressure in what way? Demonstration?
Yeah, maybe. It's not only musicians, also filmmakers, also book writers. This thing is much more serious than it is. It is all the people in the creatives.
Okay.
When we say this government is not taking the creatives serious, these are some of the reasons. We follow the money, and then they are saying they are giving us 700,000, and this 700,000, we have to deduct some statutory deductions. So by the time you finish the calculations, only maybe 200,000 or 100 and some 50 will come to Gamro. How do you distribute 150,000 to over 4,000 people? How? So these are the situations. So now, as soon as they told us they are not going to give us the 2.5 and they are going to give us 700,000, immediately me and my board had an emergency meeting, and we decided to tell the people that we can't distribute because there's nothing to be distributed. Even this 700,000 they say they are giving us, it's not as if they've given the money. They are now telling us that is how much they will pay before it goes to controller, and then look at the time. You see? So I spoke to the other societies, and they say, no, they will not accept that money. So we are yet to meet tomorrow to maybe through the corporate office, write a letter to them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Myself, that is the committee that is responsible for the 3 CMOs. We are meeting tomorrow through the corporate office to write a letter to them, for them to explain to us why they are taking some of our money, and they should explain to us. But meanwhile, we have to tell our people that we can't distribute. So that is the situation.
Okay. Apart from Gamro's issue, since you are going to have a meeting tomorrow, I think maybe after tomorrow, definitely I'm going to call you and have a follow-up on that. But I want to know, the Creative Arts Bill is passed now. What is your view on that? In any way, you know, a bit BB in relationship with Gamro, in a way help Gamro in any way?
Honestly speaking, personally, it's like, so far as I'm concerned in relation to the Creative Arts Bill, it's like you're supposed to give somebody 10 cedis and you starve that person to the extent that, okay, now I'll give you 1 cedi. And out of frustration, the person say, okay, at the end of 10 cedis, like 1 cedi, I'm in Fanisa.
Okay.
Creative Council is supposed to be a council or an authority, just like GTA, Tourism Authority.
Okay.
But now, so far, what I'm hearing is they've passed it, they changed it to creative. It's no longer a council. Creative Arts Agency.
Agency, okay.
Agency. So agency becomes a political tool in the hands of a government.
So you
because
think
it becomes it becomes an implementing agency to be toiled with Ministry of Tourism or whatever, or whatever government is in power. So if the government doesn't give you funding, you are there. You are stuck.
So you say that the Creative Arts Bill intention ananka woman or no? Because Adani agency is going to be a bit useless or ain't serving a purpose.
Honestly speaking, that is what I believe. How many agencies don't we have in this country that doesn't perform? We have so many agencies, government agencies that doesn't perform. So now Creative Arts Agency has become a government tool. We were expecting a council or an authority, so that the authority can have its own source of funding and blah, blah, blah. But the way the thing is,
it's like the government is still going to control the industry.
Yes, of course. It will be to me, I don't see how it become a political ping pong. So we use it to play political ping pong.
So will you say as we enter into 2021, all hopes are hope be any hope because now I say industry ni na hope ni say Creative Arts Bill neighbor pass everything will be okay. At this stage, there is no hope for the industry 2021.
Let me tell you something. The council, if it were to be a council, the industry people will elect their executives, their president. Now that is an agency, any government comes and decides who leads it, just like Akufo Addo did, even when there was no law. They appointed his own daughter, Kreku Mante and BB Bright to lead it. So that's exactly what is going to happen. And I don't see anything different really going to happen. I mean, right now, even when they were not backed by law, All these money that were brought that they say, oh, because of COVID, they cut some 50 million for the creative industry. Ask me how many people got that money. They distributed the money to their own people.
That is the whole the government money.
Of course. And if the whole GAMRO as an institution, GAMRO that has a balance sheet, we applied at NBSSI and they didn't give us anything. Because of the COVID effect, we applied that they should give us at least some money. They said nobody can apply more than 1 million. We said, okay, you just give us the 1 million. We will pay you back. Because we wanted to make sure that we will be able to distribute. They didn't give us the money. But there are some people who are MPP people who got some of the money. You know, so this whole situation is the reason why I don't have any hope in the Creative Arts Council. So Creative Arts Agency. It will be a political ping pong, you know.
And the bill, but from the look of things, the way Okasana say, you are not happy with the politics in the creative arts industry.
Why should I be? Why should I be happy? You see.
But one would say you are also doing politics as well. So if you are not happy about it, why then are you also doing mainstream politics?
I'm doing mainstream politics, but I'm not doing politics in the creative industry. I am doing mainstream politics to affect policy in relation to the creative art, the creative industry. So, for example, if all of us in the creative industry will sit aloof, we will always have people who don't have anything to do with our industry appoint as administrators or say ministers or whatever to make decisions for us that they themselves do not understand. You see? So it's not as if because you are a musician or you are an actor or something, you don't know anything. Some of us are entrepreneurs, and honestly speaking, the reason why our industry is the way it is because majority of the people they put on top of us don't know a hoot of what our industry is supposed to be.
That is majority of the people who become ministers and so on and so forth.
Of course, they don't understand it. They add us to Ministry of Tourism. And then if you look at history, all the people that have been appointed as Minister of Tourism are people who are tourism biased. Somebody who have some hotel and managing a hotel, and because they have some background, then they put him there or her there. Okay.
Talking about appointment.
And at the end of the day, tourism industry is already structured. You have the ministry, you have Hotcat, you have GTA, you have, yeah.
Okay, talking about appointment, I say any one of our main problem, no. Would you say, if it is not clear who rules from 7th January, but let's assume, say, MPP back twice ruling, I'll come back to NDC. Will Matisa Nkofo Kase o Yamobitis or Krekumante and your minister say MPP Ekosu Erulia? Do you who agree with sir suggestions are ever?
This question is difficult for me to answer. Why? Because Okrekumante is my friend. He's one of my best friends. So if I say yes, it means I'm saying yes because he's my friend. And everybody knows he's my friend.
Okay.
If I say no, it will be something else. All I'm saying is if MPP should come to power and they are interested in developing the creative arts, which I know they are not, they should not just appoint anybody. They should make sure that they appoint people who understand this industry,
business.
The creative industry.
We all know, so even if they want to appoint people who understand the creative business, it's going to be people. You see,
the fact that people, not all people in the music industry or creative industry understand the administration of creative industry. That is a fact. I mean, you can't expect somebody like Sukri Safo to understand the creative industry. He doesn't understand it.
So
he can just talk.
Now, want to answer about Okrekumante, but for Sukri Safo.
Okrekumante, the reason why I can't answer about Okrekumante is even Okrekumante, will need other people to help him achieve his goal. Because creative industry is not only about music, it's not only about film.
So to you, for somebody like Socrates and Okrekumante, it will be difficult for them to be able to successfully lead the creative industry as ministers or deputy ministers.
Because we've seen them before. We've seen them. I mean, during the 4 years of Akufo Addo, we saw them, even though the Socrates Safu was appointed in the ministries or the Ministry of Culture, whatever. What was his influence? What was his advice to the government? What did they do that you can? All he did was coming on air to just defend the indefensible. Oh. You know. So if that is how we're going to play politics with the creatives, then I'm sorry.
Okay. Maybe it's our question. I don't know if it is fair to ask. In case from 7th January, send your court NDC winning. Now you see, okay, Russellman, you person who now your deputy or minister for the creative arts.
See, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Me politics now, I'm not doing politics for any post. I just want that to be clear to you.
But I think the president says that he wants you to lead, be the minister, be the deputy because of your capabilities, because of
Let me tell you something. When, let's say, I'm appointed, say I become a deputy minister, it depends on who is the minister. Because I will not go and accept any appointment if I cannot implement what I know. If I go and accept a deputy minister and we are in Ghana and everybody comes to you because you are an industry person, the minister will think that you are taking his shine and you have difficulties. So I better off be on my own to do my own business than to go and take any position that at the end of the day, the whole industry eye will be on me and I cannot affect any change.
Okay.
That is what it is. Because deputy ministers are just there to help the ministers. Just like the vice presidents are there to help the president. So if they go and put somebody as a minister who doesn't have any inclination with creative industry, and because of the sake of just going to have a post for everybody to know that he's a minister, you go and take a deputy minister, you will end up disappointing your industry. Because what is in you cannot be implemented because if it's not the idea of the minister, you are just there, you take your salary and you are driving car.
So moving forward from 2021, whether I say NDC or MPP, you say bill na failure, but at least your minister be a deputy be or capable. Will you still suggest say we need industry person?
We need an industry person. But sometimes when we talk about industry persons, what I'm drawing our attention is an industry person whose leadership quality can be felt. An industry person, you see, all these things that we're talking about. Look, you can even make Rexoma a minister if the government of the day doesn't take the creative arts serious, you will not be effective. Because at the end of the day, your implementation, your programs and whatever it is, will not be supported by funding or whatever it is. You just be there driving your V8 and taking your salary, and at the end of the day, nothing will happen. You understand what I'm saying? That is why I'm saying that everything starts from the government of the day, the political will, his conviction, the conviction of the president, the conviction of the people who makes decisions. In NDC, what made me believe that NDC would have done something is because of the manifesto and how they centered the manifesto with job creation. And you cannot create any meaningful jobs without the creative industry. And I believed in NDC's manifesto because of the attention they put that they are even going to set up a standalone ministry for the creative industry. This ministry would be responsible in legislation, in so many different things. But as it is now, we didn't see any such thing in MPP's manifesto. And as you're saying, we don't know who is governing the country until 7th January or whatever. But I just pray that even if it happens that MPP continues, I pray that at least they'll take something from our manifesto. because
Okay,
that is the way forward.
Something from the manifesto.
They should adopt our manifesto so long as the creative industry is concerned. They should adopt our manifesto because that is the way forward. Because for what they are going and what they are doing, I don't see any hope. Trust me.
Okay, before I had the interview, I want to ask maybe one last question. If you have any other thing to add, you just add. Do you need the current state of musician Walasi issue? No?
Like Walasi issue is ongoing. It's a negotiation, you know. We have agreed on non-disclosure, so I cannot mention any figures. He and his team, they brought some figures. We've told our people. So it's up and down going on. I know, say, a friend is saying, if it wasn't for the way the election has gone and the way things are happening, perhaps we would have sorted this thing out. But whatever happens, it will be sorted out. So I think it's an ongoing thing. Some of these things, because they're negotiations, you know, it's not just straightforward stuff, you know, but definitely it's an ongoing thing that will be solved.
Okay. Do you have any other thing to add? Obviously, tomorrow I'm going to call for follow-up about the meeting. But do you have any other thing to add so that I bit me end the meeting successfully?
Yeah, I mean, what I want to add is Ghana Hana Yewono, Yenina decided to say a multi-party democracy. What I'm seeing and what is coming up with this election, I believe, say, people with conscience must speak and make sure that the right thing is done. Because if this is the way we are going to go, then trust me, this country has no future. It means anybody can just do whatever they like in this country and get away with it. And if that is how it's going to happen, some of the people are saying, oh, go to court, go to court. Some of the people who are going to tell friends, John Mama, still won't consider, let's go to court. I mean, court is there for everybody. But the question is, I don't believe this thing is about law. It's about arithmetic. You don't go to court for the judges to calculate for you. If you know the issue and it's about calculation, just sit down and calculate it properly and declare their clean results. So to me, it's about civil society and these organizations with the Peace Council, Peace what, Christian that. If everybody cares about this country, we should all come together and do the proper arithmetics and do the proper declaration. But the way we are going, then everybody is saying, especially MPP, go to court, go to court. It's as if they have planned that we are going to rig it, and when we finish, we ask them to go to court. That's exactly the signal I'm getting personally. But I don't think that is right for this country. I will not be the person to say that. So I mean, a court that can deny me of my birth certificate just because of political expediency.
Deny you of your birth certificate?
Of course, isn't it the same Supreme Court that said if you have birth certificate, you can't register as a voter, but you have a passport, you can register as a voter. Meanwhile, you need the passport, birth certificate to go and do a passport. There's nowhere in the world that your birth certificate does not qualify you, because that is what shows that you are a Ghanaian.
Okay.
You know, so there are certain things that people, I mean, if I believe in courts, I'm not saying that I don't believe in our judicial system, but I'm saying that the way we are politicizing every state institution is not the best for this country. It's not the best. If there are state institutions that are protected by the Constitution, if we are allowing politicians to bastardize all these state institutions, then we should all pray for this country. Because these are the reasons that other countries fall off the cliff.
So will you still advise former President John Dramani Mahama to go to court?
Yes, if the leadership of the party thinks that is the right thing to do, who am I? But what I will never advise him to do is to concede. He should not concede. What has happened is wrong. Wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter who did it. Wrong is wrong, and he should never concede. Because the 6 million over people who voted for him are not only NDC people. And they are not only NDC people. A lot of floating voters who knows that this country is not being governed properly voted for him. So he should not concede. He should make sure that justice is done.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rasoman, President and Chairman for GAMRO, Ghana Music Rights.
Thank you very much.
Medasi.
Yes, Medasi.
Okay, thank you. All right.